And with me now is Democratic Senator Chris Coons of Delaware. Thank you so much for joining me, especially on this holiday weekend, Senator. You and your colleagues, Democrats, Republicans, you spent many weeks, months really, behind closed doors trying to work out a deal. There is this, not just a deal, legislation that has passed Congress. It was very hard to do, I don't need to tell you, right before Christmas. And now the president is saying, I don't want to sign it. So what is your reaction?
Well, this is what happens when we elect a reality TV star as president. He understands how to leave us with a cliffhanger ending. He doesn't understand how to actually solve real people's problems. What is Donald Trump doing right now? As you mentioned, he's down at his golf resort in Mar-a-Lago golfing and tweeting. Is he being a great role model to help us deal with the COVID pandemic raging in our country? No, he hasn't been vaccinated. He's not wearing a mask. He's, in fact, traveling during the holiday period, which we're not supposed to do. Is he helping protect our country from the Russian cyber attack that, by all accounts, is one of the broadest and most aggressive in our history? No, he just vetoed the defense bill that would make our cyber defenses stronger and that contained a pay increase for the troops. And is he helping get relief to the tens of millions of Americans whose unemployment is running out or who are facing eviction? No, he's threatened to veto that bill after Congress left town. So frankly, fixing this in the next 2 to 3 days is going to be very difficult. I hope and pray that Trump, after having gotten all of our attention with his threat this weekend, will reverse himself, sign the bill, and deliver badly needed relief to tens of millions of Americans.
So I know that you are one of those Democrats who talks to Republicans. A lot more do than people realize, but you really do. What are you hearing from your Republican colleagues about why this happened, how this happened, what is going on here? I mean, this is more than just a temper tantrum. I mean, there's something else happening. And what is it that your Republican friends think it is?
Well, frankly, President Trump himself shows us today what he is primarily fixated on, which is conspiracy theories as to how he can possibly claim to have won the election that he lost 6 weeks ago. He is obsessed with trying to somehow punish those Republicans who are now recognizing that Joe Biden is the president-elect and trying to throw things into utter chaos in Georgia, where there's an urgent election in 10 days. And frankly, I'll remind you, although Senator Perdue and Senator Loeffler have a 100% record of supporting Trump, they haven't come out yet with whether or not they'll support this latest gambit by President Trump to demand higher individual relief and to put at risk the urgently needed unemployment relief, support for schools, support for childcare, support for vaccine distribution that's in our bipartisan bill.
Speaker Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, the Democratic leader in the Senate, I believe, I mean, they jumped on this and said, OK, Mr. President, you want $2,000 payment? So do we. So they're going to at least start through the House on Monday to have a vote on just that. But you did see, and you heard Jeremy Diamond report, that President-elect Biden, who is you're a very close ally of, you have his Senate seat, said today in a statement that the president should sign the bill that he has in front of him before time runs out. So which is it? Should Democrats push for the $2,000 and give the president what he wants, which is what Democrats actually want, or just sign the bill that has $600 in payments and relief?
Well, as you know, the House, controlled by the Democrats back in May, passed a $3 trillion HEROES Act, which included additional stimulus payments, additional payments for frontline and essential workers. Democrats have always been behind providing more and greater relief to the American people. But we were held up for months and months negotiating over Republican opposition to more unemployment insurance, to more aid to state and local governments, and a concern about liability relief for employers. Frankly, that's why we finally conceded after months of back and forth that we'd be willing to move forward with the $900 billion that's already been passed by Congress. Frankly, the easiest thing to do in order to get badly needed relief to the American people is for President Trump to sign the $900 billion COVID package tonight and then ask us to do something to supplement it in the remaining days this year. But I'll remind you, as you said in the opening, he's not working the Republican caucus. He's not saying to the two senators currently representing Georgia, I demand that you come out and support my call for a $2,000 stimulus payment. He hasn't got the support of Majority Leader McConnell or the Republican caucus for what he's trying to do.
Not publicly, anyway. I want to ask about something that you mentioned earlier. It's so important. We put it up on the screen just a second ago. We can put it back up. And that is a really big fight over the defense bill. The president stunned many by vetoing it this week. And we have on the screen what it is, $740 billion. It includes, as you mentioned, a pay raise for U.S. troops, equipment modernizations. It sets basic defense policy. For people who are not steeped in this is something that has passed for decades with an overwhelming bipartisan majority. This did pass this time around with a veto-proof majority in the House and the Senate. Do you feel comfortable and confident that the Congress will override the president's veto?
We should. This is a bill that is the result of months of bipartisan work to strengthen our defenses against China and against Russia, and for the president to veto it and that veto to lead to the demise of this bill, the failure of this bill, would only embolden and strengthen our adversaries around the world. My concern is that more than 120 House Republicans have joined President Trump's desperate last-ditch efforts to try and somehow undermine the results of the election. And when he tests them or pushes them on their votes on this NDAA bill and whether they're willing to override his veto, they may crumble and fall in line with President Trump. If they follow their previous votes, we should have a veto-proof majority in the House and Senate. We'll find out this coming Monday and Tuesday. We
sure will. Senator Chris Coons, thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to your family as well. I appreciate you coming on and trying to explain everything. Maybe explain the inexplicable is probably the best way to say it. Thanks, Senator.
It's pretty inexplicable. Thank you.